Mm. Woo. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Late for the Party on Anchor FM. I am your host, Melodious, aka Cover Boy, the Modern Marvel. That's right, you guys. Oh man. Actually, I wanted to talk about the because pretty much this is going to be more like a word around a campfire, but it's about Simone Biles and her withdrawing from the competition and the withdrawing from the Olympics because due to mental health. Now, I've been on the internet and been on there, folks giving some mixed feelings about her withdrawing. A lot of people are saluting her, myself included. Then you have those people out there who are calling her a sociopath or she's freaking selfish and whatnot. And it saddens me because it's like, because I deal with my own mental health. And I mean, I could only imagine how it is on that magnitude of being an athlete or an entertainer in that aspect when you're under so much pressure. I mean, this could have been stemming from even for her being as a child, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, for her to actually understand, like, you know what, maybe I'm not going to be performing the best way that I can. And, I might not be performing at the best right now. So, I mean, it's actually important that she actually did that. So, I mean, hell, I don't understand why. Well, for those who trip and complain, maybe they don't understand or they're not. I mean, for those like Charlie Kirks and freaking, and Clay Travis's and freaking Buck Sextons and all that stuff, for them to not really understand what it is to have, I mean, anything from depression or anxiety or any kind of other disorders, because, you just don't know. Or because you think like, oh, it's just because it's not a physical injury, it's easy for anybody to actually, just, oh, well, it's not a physical injury, so they're just fine and they should be able to get up and just get going. And no, that's not the case. I mean, you just don't know. You don't know and understand what a person goes through on a day-to-day basis. And for anybody to sit there and to actually make those assessments about someone when they don't know what that person's going through. I mean, hell, even for me going to my job, I mean, shit, I mean, there's a lot of pressure and a lot of things. There's some times where I need a mental vacation, a mental break. Because, I even talked about the stuff I deal with my anxieties and, how I have to deal with anxiety and depression. And it's not easy every day. It's not, I mean, I go to therapy, I go to counseling, and I go to group. But then also I meditate, read my mantras, do everything I got to do, just try to stay healthy, but everything that's been going on. I mean, even with going through COVID and going through last year, it hasn't been an easy thing. So, and, it comes with a lot of pressure. I mean, hell, like, at my job, like a whole crew of a lot of my coworkers got laid off, and I'm the only one who didn't get laid off out of like to like almost 300 people, and that's like, that's a lot of pressure over one's head as well. And, trying to do your best so that doesn't happen, or trying to take care of yourself and not get sick. And but that's just what I have to deal with, or what I deal with. I got 3 freaking jobs. I'm burning myself out. I'm burning all candles on both ends. Hell, the 4th job is trying to find sleep. So, it's not an easy thing if for someone to sit there and try to diss somebody for like, because they gracefully bow out out of something that, like, okay, if you want to want me to move this Bugatti in the backyard at the job, and on a forklift, and I'm trying to unhook this thing off of a scaffold, or off of a elevated thing, and you want me to be careful, and I'm like, pressure next thing and that's one thing about anxiety. Anxiety could come out of left field, and you do everything in your power to combat it, but there's times to where you win, sometimes you lose. It's like a wave. I look at it, for myself, I look at it like a wave, and sometimes you win, you lose. Sometimes you have to fight through the current. Sometimes you gotta roll through the current. You gotta let the current carry you, so you won't go through so much. And it's a lot. It takes a lot out of you, especially if it's in the mind. There's the mind is untapped. There's a lot of things about the mind we don't know. There's a lot about the mind of the medicines and all that stuff don't even fully understand. So for me, just off of the stuff that I have to deal with, and I could understand. And for someone like Simone Biles, or I forgot the Naomi, forgot her name, but she was she's the tennis player, and she went, got out, left, withdrew from the competition because she had she was dealing with some mental, she thought about her mental health. Because mental health could lead to if you're not thinking about your mental health, you might have some mental illness or anything, or a disorder or anything. You don't know. Unless and for people who actually understands what they are experiencing, and it's kind of personal to come out in the forefront and actually say, like, this is what I'm going through, and and it's not like you can do anything. You can do the best you can. I even had to explain that to my coworkers, and I had to explain that to my supervisors and whatnot. So, like I said, I've even talked about mental health on my podcast. If you go back and look at the Wallfower Journals, I actually have to, put them in a category and whatnot, but I do talk about it, and it's difficult. It's difficult. I'm not going to cap. It's difficult to explain that to people, and for people to actually understand, especially being a black man or a black woman living in America. You have to stay off your phone and stay away from social media, because all the stuff that you see and all the stuff that you're going through, or your brethren and whatnot. And like I said, all those things that are going on while you're trying to do your thing, and all this stuff is going on around you, it can apply pressure. All the stuff that's happened with me stemmed back when I was a kid. So, and if most of that stuff is left unchecked, or, you don't, you've never gotten the proper attention on how, or getting the help, or going to a counselor or a therapist at the time when it's going on, I mean, it can carry with you. And I look at it like a totem pole. All the stuff that you're dealing with, anxiety and everything, it's a part of the totem pole, and your mind is the foundation. So all the stuff that's going in the earth, so every time your totem pole keeps getting built on top of that, where's the anxiety at? You know what I'm saying? The anxiety is already getting buried on, like getting in more into the foundation. That's real talk. So for anybody to say that, she's being selfish and she didn't think about the team, we're looking at the other people, the Russians biting on the freaking metal. So what? Who gives a shit? Okay, yeah, it's a medal. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't do half of the things Simone Biles do. You know what I'm saying? Kudos to her even getting far enough to understand that, damn, this could be a lot on a person's plate. You know what I'm saying? And then for her to really think about it, she could have hurt the team more if she ignored that. And if she ignored it and she went out there and hurt herself, or instead of getting a silver medal, if she was out there and did anything worse to her, she could have gotten they could have gotten a bronze medal or not qualified. So you got to understand, like, she was thinking about not only herself, but she was thinking about her teammates. And kudos to her teammates and her freaking coaches and everything for understanding that. You know what I'm saying? You got to give props to that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people probably, a lot of these negative Nancys out here don't even understand that. Like, even for people at my job, I let it be known, like, look, if I got to take off, I got to take off. Take off for personal reasons, for personal matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need a full-blown explanation. And if I need to, mental health, there's a lot of pressure that goes on with life in general. Everybody needs a mental vacation. And I am an advocate for stuff like that. Like, maybe jobs and, sports and whatnot, entertainment, really need to think about that. Because I definitely know sports and entertainers don't have freaking health benefits, and they don't have sick days. I do. My job is crazy about how they get their sick time and everything, but that's another story for another day. But I got my CTO. Gotta take it off. Shit. Need a mental day. I might need that extra day, because it's like, 2 days you could only do so much in 2 days. Hell, it takes a lot. Sometimes it's hard as hell to get out of bed. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get out of bed, and especially how the world just came from, how the world's been since COVID happened. Hell, it's hard as hell trying to get out there and have a normal life. Define normal. Normal now. The normalcy for me is like, I gotta wear a mask, have my freaking hand sanitizer, have my elderberries, drink a green juice, and kick the day off. There's a lot. It's a lot that people go through. I've been going through my own shit. For those who know me, understands, may or may not understand what I've been through. But for those who do, they understand what it is and how it is. And I explain it to them down to the letter. It's not an easy thing to deal with. And it takes a lot for someone to actually understand that their mental health. And honestly, like I said, I salute Simone, I salute Naomi, I salute all of them for actually understanding that. And for all the other players too who are out there doing their thing. And yeah, it's a sport. It's you're supposed to do your thing, and a lot is riding on you, and that kind of pressure can lead to anxiety. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's a lot when it comes down to, I mean, and plus, like I said, you don't know what that person's going through on a day-to-day basis. You don't know. And for those who may understand that, they did the right thing and not try to bastardize her or lambaste her or anything like that because of all the stuff how she feels. I mean, hell, that's important, y'all. So let's try to remember that, because for people who are going through mental health, I mean, you can't just tell them to, just suck it up. You can't tell them to just be like, oh, well, you can't do this. Like, I remember, I'm talking about this with one of my coworkers. One of my supervisors said, oh, well, it's like, and he just came out of left field. I wasn't even really talking to him about it, but he said, oh, well, if it's a part of your, like, he tried to spin it off of like how I do my job. And I didn't go off, but I let him be known, like, that is not how you talk to somebody who's dealing with mental health or deals with mental health or dealing with issues with mental health issues and everything. You don't come at somebody that, if they're expressing how they feel about something, you don't come at them in a way like, sometimes you got to ask them, how are you feeling today? You come at somebody, you don't walk up, they're walking in the building. You don't know what that person's dealt with. I mean, yeah, some people say like, oh, you got to separate work from home, or you got to separate home from work, or vice versa, or something. But, you can't just turn everything off and on. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you could take off your pair of shoes at the front door of the house, or, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be as simple. Especially, like, I let them know, like, it's not how you talk to people. I don't know how you tell that to somebody. And yeah, eventually I didn't want to talk to him anymore. Like, I told him, like, no, that's wrong, dude. You don't do that. I'm sitting here expressing myself about how I feel, like, dealing with anxiety and everything else. I was even tearing up and shit. So it was just like, you don't come at people like that, and eventually he came back and apologized, but, it's just after that, the damage has kind of been done. Like, you got to understand, like, a lot of places still run off of this Neanderthal type mentality to where, oh, you got to suck it up. You're like, oh, you're a man. Like, the people come up to me like, yo, you're a man. You can't. Why a man shouldn't show his emotions, or a man shouldn't have to, they have to suck it up and keep pushing. I even said it like this: even Superman has to sit down and recharge his batteries from time to time. You know what I'm saying? So Superman has to recharge his batteries. He can't do everything all on his own. That's why he has the Justice League, right? So, he can't do everything by himself. He can't deal with everything, and even Superman deals with shit. So I'm not even gonna go there. Don't sit here talking about like people ain't going through something. You know what I'm saying? Straight out. But, whew, damn, that's therapy talking about this. But if anybody out there, just want to say it like this: if anybody out there who is dealing with mental health issues, or mental issues, or mental illness, or dealing with any suicidal tendencies or anything like that, like, go get help. Go seek help. talk to somebody, talk to a close person. I mean, don't let everything just stay in, just vent as much as you can, express how you feel to the closest you believe that you can talk to, or if you can go see if you can see there's a counselor or a therapist or any kind of place that can help you out. I will leave something in the descriptions because I live in LA, so so I mean anybody out there, look, just out there, just take care of yourself. Mental health is just as important as physical health, because honestly, without mental health, the physical body can't do shit without the mind. So, like what Morpheus also said, the body can't live without the mind. So, if you're not mentally healthy, how can you be physically healthy? That's real shit. So, either way, you guys, I'm getting off the hook right now, but I just wanted to let that be known. So, please like, comment. Hell, this is technically a Wallflower Journal. So, this is a Face for Radio episode, but this is more of a Wallflower Journal. And yeah, you guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the podcast, and support the YouTube channel. I'm just gonna start saying it like that. It just sounds a little bit better. Also, you can check out all the cool merch on the Late for the Party store on teespring.com. The links are in the description on my social media, so you can check out the bios. Also, you can check out the bio on the YouTube channel. It links everything to my social media and to the Late for the Party store on teespring.com, so you can check out all the merch that is on there and hit a brother up. Also, leave a comment, and leave a comment on any of my sections. DM me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm everywhere. So just hit me up. All right. So that is it for the Late for the Party on Anchor FM and the YouTube channel. I am your host, Melodious, aka Coverboy, the Modern Marvel, signing off. And as always, if you're going to be late for the party, turn it up to 11.